Hello, this is Phil Morris Jr. I'm the Time and Time photographer. This is a follow-up video to the photography tip of the week number 36, Time to Cull. And actually I'm doing this follow-up before the podcast because I need to narrow down the photos that I'll need to use for the podcast. And what I'm going to do is show you how I quickly go through and determine which photos I want to use, which ones are the best, how I narrow them down very quickly. And I use the 5-star rating here not to say which photos are the best, but kind of to give each photo a rating on what does it mean to me. The first pass that I do is I quickly look through the library to see if there's any photos where I've taken a picture of the wall or left a lens cap on or took pictures of my feet, and I don't have any of those. And those photos I generally completely delete. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to hit my first pass. I've got 123 photos that I need to narrow down. And my first pass, I will go into this zoomed in mode, and generally I'll have a second monitor so that I can see the photo really large. But the first pass is to go through and determine if the photo is in focus. Now it doesn't matter if I like the photo or not. All I'm doing is just determining if I did a good job of focusing on my subject. Now the subject doesn't necessarily have to be the bride in this case. It could be something else that I thought was interesting at the time, her flowers, the ring, something else that was going on in the background. It has nothing to do with the it has everything to do with the intent of the photo, I should say. And when you get to certain sections, you'll find that a lot of them are in focus. It's difficult to tell, since I didn't use a fill flash on this, if it was in focus or not. I've got a bunch of things going on in the background in some cases, and I'm not worried about that. It's only, am I focused in on what I want it to be focused in? That's in focus. Oops, missed. Not in focus. Took a while to dial in. I actually had to shoot a lot of those manually. Oops. And that's the focus pass right there. Okay, now the second pass is going to be what I consider to be my develop pass. So what I'll do is I'll only show the 1-star ratings. I've taken 123 down to 74, and these are the photos that I can easily develop, that won't require me to do a lot of Photoshop work, and I will give those a 2-star rating. Now you might think that all the photos are like that, but these photos that have this lens flare, I don't know that I want to try to mess with those. They're often difficult to develop properly. And let's see, this is a lot of these will end up getting the 2-star rating. These will require me to go in and focus in on the face and try to lighten them up, since I didn't use a fill flash at the time. And now, oops, went too far. Okay, yeah, I can develop those. And all I'm doing is hitting the 2 on the keyboard here. That can develop those are going to be difficult. All right, third pass. Now these passes can be done at different times of the day, on different days, and often I'll do that just because you never know if you'll like something better on the second day or not. All right, the third pass is going to be my composition pass. These are the photos that are currently in a reasonable composition, or ones that I think can make a good composition. If they match the rule of thirds, and I'm not even looking at if they strike me as good photos or not. It's just purely, is it composed reasonably, or can I easily change the composition? As you may or may not know, you can rotate images when you recompose them. If there's not a lot of room around the subject, I will often say that it's not composed very well. All right. And there. All right, that was the composition pass. And we've taken 123 down to 41. Now the fourth pass is where one might want to spend some time looking at them very closely. This is what I call my mood pass. Does the bride have the right mood that I'm looking for? Is it the right look? And does it strike me? Do I feel something that's interesting in the photo? Oops. Go through these. Yeah, there. And it's no problem going forward and backwards. All right. Now my final pass, the 5-star rating. I've got 14 photos right now, and this is the 5-star rating is the pick, the only photo that I consider to be the best in the sequence. And you can't cheat on this. You've got to pick one. You've got to look through them and say, okay, actually I'm thinking that it's going to be one of these, and that one is going to be my pick. It's going to be the one that I probably do the most work on to give it the look that I want it to have. Can some of these passes be combined? Yeah, they can. You know, when you do the mood pass, you can go through and say, oh, well, you know, this one looks like the best photo. I like to make sure I go through all my photos in each pass, just so that I'm certain that I haven't missed anything. Now, the nice thing that I can do, since I've got all the photos in the various star ratings, is I can quickly go back and look at the sections and say, all right, in this section I had quite a number of them that were in focus, and okay, this one has the mood that I was looking for, this one doesn't. So this is how I use the star rating to do my culling and narrow down the photos to the ones that I really want to work on. Well, once again, this is Phil Morris, and thank you very much for watching my video as the follow-up to my photography tip of the week.